What is in the bottom of my coffee cup? You honking my coffee cup?
Oh God, no.
Hello, I'm Joe.
I'm Mark.
And welcome to GAK.
So today is an exceptionally sunny day in Brighton.
It is.
And to celebrate, we have some rather colourful new accessories from Ernie Ball.
I thought you were going to say to celebrate we've locked ourselves in a really sort of boiling hot little studio.
It is a little bit hot. And we're drinking coffee.
Which is a terrible idea. But yes, Ernie Ball have released a whole new range of accessories, which I guess off the bat doesn't sound that exciting accessories. But they are super cool accessories. So they've released a range of plectrums, cables. Let's get them.
Yeah, so they released some plectrums, some jack leads.
Yeah. And patch cables. Those are patch cables, which I don't think we have here. We've got like a selection of the stuff. So they've released these Everlast plectrums, which they have in various sizes.
Everlast.
What did I say?
You said Everlast,
oh, okay.
But I assume that means they will last forever.
Well, they're made from Delrin. Made from Delrin. All plectrums are made from Delrin. Most plectrums are made from Delrin. But they're really nice. They're launching this along with their new concept, which is the colours of rock and roll. So everything's kind of so everything's like in line with.
These are the colours of rock and roll.
These are the colours. Well, because their strings are, they're the only brand where you know the gauge by the colour of the pack. Like everyone knows that pink is super slinky.
Yeah.
And it's that same sort of thing. And they applied the same thing? Well, I guess they have sort of, because the pink is 0.60 mil, so quite a sort of skinny, acousticy.
I am a 1 mil guy, which I think is purple.
These are 2. They do these 2 mils, which look absolutely pucker. And they've released this other range of plectrums called Prodigy, which they do like a Prodigy and a Prodigy Mini, which are available. Now these ones they've got that sort of that like sharp angle that you see on things like those Dunlop, the JP picks that they do. So these are your shredder plectrums they're small, they have a sharp tip, and they're like 2 mil. Or I don't know what are these? 2 mil and 1.5. Yeah, so pretty cool. So fine, a cool new range. I mean, I'm more interested in these Everlast ones. I think these look wicked. So they've released a new range of picks and stuff. The cables are where it's super cool because
they are cool.
Yeah. And they're this tweed type material, which is kind of popular. I guess the cable that you see everywhere at the moment are those Fender custom shop cables, which they do in tweed and they do in that black sort of black and white kettle checking. But I think these could well replace those as kind of the industry
there are
standard.
A bunch more colours than just the stuff we've got on the table.
Yeah, what have we got? We've got purple, black, and gold. There are a load more colours, but they also do another type of material. They also, other than doing the sort of kettle lead style thing, they do a plastic coating, which they're releasing in neon colours. Now those ones haven't got to us yet, but I think you can still order them and stuff. But they do like luminous yellows. They basically do the colours of rock and roll colours, but like really super bright, which is great. So a cool new, really well made, hard wearing, super funky looking range of accessories from Ernie Ball. So a cool new thing that's come out recently from Fender for bass players. I guess these came out about a month ago, but have recently landed here. Is they have done some FSR 70s jazz basses and P basses in maple finishes with maple fretboards with big chunky black block inlays. It's that quintessential 70s jazz bass look, and they've done the same thing with a P bass, but with dot inlays, but still with the black binding, which is really super cool.
Looks awesome.
I think it looks fantastic, and this is the sort of thing. Now they've done basses that look like this, but with cheaper bodies in the Squire series for ages. I mean, it's probably the most popular Squire bass for years has been the vintage modified jazz bass in this sort of look. But if you wanted to get this as a Fender, you were looking at currently you can get it in the American original series, They do it as a deluxe, or otherwise you'd be looking at custom shops. So you're looking at £1,800 minimum to get something that looks like this, that has all those proper 70s features. And they've released this as a Mexican built, but incredibly well built, limited run. And these are like 900-ish pounds.
That's a great price.
Yeah, exactly. For kind of a totally like a quintessential 70s jazz bass for virtually half the price of what you'd normally have to pay for one. I think they're absolutely brilliant.
So this is the part of the show where... Right?
Yeah.
This is the part of the show where I challenge Joe to do different things every week. And this week I have challenged Joe to build a rig of yellow gear.
Challenge Joe!
So this week I've been challenged to find a rig of things that are completely yellow, which should be easy as the shop is yellow, so I'm sure it's full of yellow things. So yellow is actually a convenient colour for us to do because there's tons of stuff that's yellow, but there's loads of stuff that's in between. I was thinking about all the butterscotch custom shop Telecasters that we have. We've also got a real 1952 Gibson Les Paul, and that's gold, that's kind of yellow, but we can probably get something that's a little bit more spot on. So probably actually the only yellow guitar in the shop is this graffiti yellow custom shop Strat, which actually Dave Gilmour played when he popped into the shop recently, which is super cool. So we're going to grab this. So effects is probably the only area where we actually have some choice for yellow things. We have the MXR Distortion Plus, we've got the Empress Fuzz, which is super cool, but I don't think we can do this without choosing the ultimate of all drives, the Strymon Riverside in all its yellowy golden glory. So finding a yellow amplifier is actually quite tricky. The closest I think we're going to find is Tweed, but that's okay because Fender do a great range of Tweed amps, which is kind of extended at the moment because they're doing a load of FSR stuff, including this limited edition FSR Fender Princeton with a cannabis speaker cone. So let's see what that sounds like.
Okay, so you went down the shop and I can see what you picked, which is sat right over there.
Yellow was a surprisingly premium colour. I was able to like set up a really super cool rig. Like the fact that, I mean, the graffiti yellow custom shop Stratocaster was quite a rarity. I don't think we've ever had a graffiti yellow Strat before, and it's absolutely fantastic. And
nice.
as I said, when Dave Gilmour popped into the shop a couple of weeks ago, that's the guitar he played. So
nice,
there.
I like it. It feels good.
Yeah, it's great. And then like, you know, being able to get things like the Strymon Riverside. I think when Strymon released this pedal, everyone was a little bit unsure about a pedal brand that had made their name on like ambient reverbs and delays coming out with a drive, which again, like these are expensive pedals.
That's a great drive though.
It's a great drive, but you know, like you can get an electroharmonic soul food for whatever it is for 60 quid, and that's a great drive. Like how good can a drive be? Can a drive be sort of £400 good? But I think when everyone heard the Riverside, they realised that yes, drives can actually be £400 good. The thing that I'm most excited about is that Princeton, which I guess isn't quite yellow, it's tweed, but it's super cool. It's got a cannabis speaker cone. I don't know why. That's fine. I mean, Princeton sound great anyway, and this one happens to sound exceptional.
Cool. Let's plug it all in and have a listen.
So this week at GAK, we took in a huge collection of guitars and amplifiers from one fella.
Very exciting stuff in there.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff in there. So we just wanted to show you like a couple of the cool bits, and they're all up on our website for you to have a butcher's at. But yeah, we'll talk you through some of the crazier instruments that we found in a sort of lifetime collection of guitars.
Now, as a kid, personally, well, I'll get it out. But this is a Les Paul Junior Special.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I always was in love with Les Paul Juniors. And this is lovely.
Yeah, this is an actual 1958 Gibson Les Paul Special
P90s.
Yep.
And didn't you were saying earlier that this used to be butterscotch and
Yeah.
has kind of been stripped back.
That's
and
right.
lacquered.
Yeah, with a nice clear lacquer, and you can see it's now getting quite a nice lacquer checking. I don't know when it was refinished, but long enough ago for it to get lacquer checking. But yeah, it's an absolutely blinding, real 1958 Les Paul Junior Special. So one of the crazier things that we found in the collection was a Fender custom shop. I don't know what year this is. I should probably have researched more.
I can literally see my face in it.
This is
From over there.
Completely chrome custom shop Fender Strat. This is like a completely chrome. This is a chrome body. Like, it sounds like a resonator. It is an absolutely bonkers custom shop Strat.
That's great.
Yeah, it looks absolutely banging.
Now, Joe, it looks like you brought a kid's guitar. No.
So in the collection of guitars is one of my favourite things ever, which is the Gibson Melody Makers, which they made throughout the 60s, and I think right at the end of the 50s as well. And they made these 3/4 size single pickup, single coil Melody Makers, which were designed as like starter guitars.
Okay, so they were.
Yeah, they were. They were
for children.
3/4 size guitars, but they were absolutely awesome, brilliant, super cool guitars, but also super rare. So this is the first time I've ever get to see one, and it is absolutely banging. So this is an actual 1961 Gibson Melody Maker. It has a couple of holes here where the previous owners fitted a Bigsby and then removed it. The Bigsby actually does come with it as well. But this thing is tiny and
it's really short, isn't it?
But plays surprisingly well. I kind of expected it to be like a bit of a dog. You just expect that from these like weird 3/4 size old like early 60s guitars, but other than having to box your hand up a little bit just because it's short scale, it's absolutely
smells.
Yeah, it
Vintage.
smells old.
Yeah, that's great. I like it. So earlier in the week, I had a look at some digital pianos, and I looked at the Korg SV1, the Roland RD2000, and the new Nord Stage 3.
Yeah.
And basically did a sound comparison rather than going really in depth with it, just to have a listen at how they all sounded.
Yeah, there was quite a difference in price.
There was. So
between them.
yeah, there was. The Korg was at like 1,000.
Yeah.
The Roland was at about 2, just over 2, and then the Nord Stage 3 is about 3.5.
But they're all like pro level keyboards.
Yeah, they're all exceptionally good keyboards, but it's just really interesting to compare prices against sound. Like, just take the pianos for example, and whether the Nord that sits at 3,500 is better than the Korg SV1.
Sure.
And I think the kind of what I kind of realised is it's just a preference thing.
Yeah.
And in the comments below on that video, some people love the Korg, some people love the Nord, and it's
I loved like the Rhodes sounds from the Korg. I thought they were exceptional.
yeah, and you've got like a built-in amp on there which gives it that kind of grit as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it comes down to preference, and I think I said in that video, and with all gear, like whether you're a guitarist, a drummer, like it is preference, isn't it? Like I don't think anyone should worry about price.
So this is the part of the show where we take something that we stock and we try to destroy it in some way. Last week we grabbed the Shure SM58, the world's most popular microphone, and we dropped it into a pitcher of beer, only to discover that it still worked. This is the Wreckoning.
So this week we have decided to put to the test and destroy one of probably the hardest working, sturdiest tuners on the market from Boss.
The Boss TU-3, the world's most recognisable tuner. It's there on every single pedal board you will ever see. It's been there through the ages. Okay, I mean, it was the TU-2 a decade ago, but the TU-3 is its successor. And yes, it is still the most popular tuner in the world.
So this week we decided that we weren't going to set it on fire and we weren't going to drown it in liquid, but we were going to run it over with a forklift.
That's right. So we went and got the GAK forklift truck and we drove that forklift over a Boss TU-3. So it made quite a crunch when the forklift truck went over the Boss TU-3. Yeah, so we're going to find out if we can plug in a guitar and still tune it. Let's have a look at the pedal.
Now, it looks healthy.
I think it has survived this quite well. So you can see the end of the pedal is sort of crushed down a bit. A bit of the PCB is exposed, and there's a bit of a dent in there. But crucially, the display looks...
Because I thought that would be the first thing to go.
Yeah.
I thought that would be cracked to mothery.
But it doesn't... I mean, that is... I think this might still function fine.
Okay, so let's start by grabbing a cable and sticking it in and seeing if it has lights.
Yeah, let's see if there are any
signs of life.
Functioning lights. We took a battery out of this when we ran it over, but we've popped a battery back in now. I mean, that's promising. Unless the PCB has been in some way damaged, I think that this still stands a good chance of tuning. So let's grab our Strat, our rather fetching yellow Strat. Oh God!
Give me an E.
I mean, that is a fully functioning. We could probably still sell this.
So the TU-3 has survived.
Yeah, so a TU-3 tuner pedal can in fact survive being run over by a forklift truck. So by that token, you should literally be able to do anything to this on your pedal board because you will never be as heavy as a forklift truck.
So this week on GAK, we looked at the new line of accessories from Ernie Ball.
We checked out the incredible new range of pre-owned guitars that we've taken in, and we showed you how to build a rig out of entirely yellow things.
And we also discovered that the TU-3 from Boss is probably the most indestructible tuner in the world.
If you like this video, then please give us a like and a comment below.
And if you want to see more videos like this, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we shall see you very soon.